What's going on, everybody? Matt Manduke here. I am at Bellplain State Forest. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us all.
I'm going to take a hike around the lake, and I'm going to give you information about this park, much like I did with the Parvins Park.
Now what are these people doing?
Alright, so I actually parked at the recreational center. At the recreational center, you can see a park. I'm not going over to the park because there's tons of kids over there. There's also a public bathroom over there, and there is a beach. Now that is actually where I'm going to head. Alright, so at the beachfront, there is a concession stand, there's a couple bathrooms, there's picnic tables and grill things everywhere, and there's, like I said, a beach. And when I was a little kid, I used to swim in this lake all the time. It is known as Lake Nummy, even though it's Bellplain State Forest. They have camping here. I don't know if they have cabins here, but they have a fair amount of stuff to do, and they have a nice walk around the lake here, and I'm going to do the walk around the lake. I'm going to give you some information center over there, the new dam over there, how this lake was formed, and how Lake Nummy came to be. So if you come to visit Bellplain State Forest, in the summertime they will have boats here, and because they rent like paddle boats and kayaks and canoes, so you can paddle around in the lake.
There is something I wish to teach you.
Wildlife that you might see in Bellplain should you come here to check it out. Other than the little kids that are loud and obnoxious.
We're surrounded by monsters.
You may see some squirrels. You will definitely see some finches. I've already seen a couple. You may see some skinks, which are small lizards and whatnot. I have seen brown lizards and green lizards here. I'm not sure what the green lizards are. There are a couple of trails. I'm going to go ahead and head to the right. If you go that way, it will lead around to the same place, but I actually like the path here along the river. I like the way that the trees grow around it. It's very interesting. Might see a fox. I have seen a fox here before, but foxes are kind of rare in South Jersey because of the overpopulation issue, and foxes are not something that do well in the human environment. I saw a groundhog on the way here on the side of the road, so it's not entirely unbelievable that you would see them here as well. You might see a muskrat because this is a very swampy type area, and you might see a woodpecker. I have seen them here. You might feasibly see an owl, but I have not seen any other raptor birds. There are information signs in this park, like there is in almost every state park in New Jersey, where they explain the different trees and wildlife that you might see. Mostly it's plant life that they put on these. This is the red maple, which is actually what is growing directly behind it. There's mountain laurel all along the trail here, which in about June, that's going to be gorgeous, because toward the end of May and early June, that's when it starts to bloom. There are benches along the lake so that you can sit and enjoy it. I don't know about fishing here, but I do know that there are fish in this lake. Alright, so you get up to this crossing, and this way is going to lead you back to where that split was in the beginning. This way leads you around the back portion of the lake, but I'm going to go this way because I'm not looking to take a very long hike today. This way takes you over this little bridge and in between the two lakes. There's an information sign that explains how this lake used to be used for growing cranberries. But from the bridge you get a very nice view of the entire lake. And a view of the other side as well, which I think would be very nice for a sunset. I have done a couple videos here, including the boob nose theory, the worst sex I've ever had, which actually has to be redone. That's a story time that I had deleted. Oh, and the story of green tongue was done here as well. Now this is where that trail from the other side comes back around and rejoins to this. It's a mile and a half, maybe 2 total, so it tends out to be a fairly decent trail. When you come out here, you're at like a road, dirt road. There's a lot of dirt roads in this park. They go all over the place. Wow, look at that tree. It's all dug out at the bottom, but it's still thick at the top. Surprised that's still standing after the past few storms. That's pretty ridiculous. It's a fairly large dead tree.
This color so that I may talk. Squirrel.
Ooh, look at that mud covered in leaves. Covered in holly leaves. Yep, I'm wrecking my roaches, and from the looks of things, I'm actually starting to wear a hole in here. That's pretty bad. I might have to go around. And there's a little creek here, which kind of explains all the mud that's around it. And it seems to be flowing fairly rapidly for what it is. It's probably the creek that feeds the pond. And I like this tree here, the way it's all branched out and whatnot, to hold itself at an angle over this creek. Seems to be fairly healthy. This mud is pretty treacherous though. I might not go this way again, or, well, I would, but I don't know that you would. Treacherying through the sticks and the mud, I want to give you guys a public service announcement, which is anytime you go into the woods, even if you stay on the trail, it is ideal that you check yourself for ticks. They are in full season now, and they usually are during the months that we as humans like to be out in the environment. So I encourage everyone to please check yourself for ticks as soon as you get out of the woods, and I'm known to do it sometimes while I'm still in the woods, because if you can get them off sooner the better. Alright, with that said, the trail actually now loops around. This is the gatehouse where you come in at, where if you're camping or whatnot, there should be someone there, but there isn't always someone there, like there isn't one now. Off to the left is the camping area, and they're going to give you the same things as you get in Parvins. You get a place to put your tent, you get a picnic table, and you get a fire ring. Which isn't bad if you're into camping, but I don't like to camp locally, so I'm not against being in places like this in areas that I don't know. But in an area like this, I'm not too far from home, so I just wouldn't camp here. If I had kids, I might, but I don't, so I don't need to. You will also get a latrine of some sort with probably a toilet, maybe a shower. Men's room's going to have urinals, sinks, and maybe electricity. Oh, and you will also see Canadian geese, because they're everywhere where there's water in New Jersey. Boo. The park police, or the park rangers, are actually in full force today, and I would expect them to be all summer long. I noticed that this park, for the most part, is cleaner than some of the other state parks that I've been through to in New Jersey, and I'd like to see people keep it that way and not litter on the paths. If you bring something with you, please take it out with you. I will clean up when I see things sometimes, and actually I see something just left on a bench, but it would end up in the water, and it would probably just end up in the forest. To the left you can see the Information Center and Park Ranger as he passes by again. He's been making his rounds. He was kind of all over the place. But there is a floating dock over here, which I assume is for boat launch during that season. And there's a recycling center over there as well, so if you're camping you can leave your trash here. There's a lot of roads back here that lead all over the place, but they're not really hiking trails, so I'm not going to take them, but I have explored back here just a little bit. It's not very exciting when it comes down to it. Now this dam over here that I'm approaching is new. They put this in 2 years ago, and it wasn't completely finished last year, but it seems like it actually is finished now. They put in all these rocks and whatnot to actually hold back the erosion. The road goes over it. The road is all freshly new paved. There's a cage over the dam so people can't climb into it. But I'm getting back to the park, and like I said, there's a ton of kids here. It looks like they're having a birthday party or something.
Class dismissed.
So if you enjoyed this and you want to see what other tours and travels that I've been on, different places that I've been and things that I do, you can go ahead and check out that playlist there. Or if you want to know what YouTube thinks is best for you on my channel, you can check out those videos there. As always, I want you to like the video, subscribe, and of course I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy my next video, and I'll see all my friends later.